Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Triana Fadilatul Rafi'ah from class C. Well, I will tell you a little about how to do a good presentation. Before making a presentation, there is a lot must be prepared in advance so that the presentation can run smoothly. The first way to do a presentation is face the nervousness. Quite a few people get nervous when it comes to making presentation. Even if the audience is small, it's a natural thing. You just have to try, not look that you are nervous if you cannot make it go away. Before making the presentation, close your hand a few times to reduce your adrenaline rate and then take 3 deep breaths. Keep smiling even if you feel like hiding. You can't manipulate your brain into thinking that you are not as anxious as you are. That you can mask your nervousness of your audience. And the second one, involve the audience. For your presentation to be memorable and interesting, you need to have an interaction with the audience. Don't act as if there is a wall between you and your guys. Involve them in the presentation. Have them talk to you. Make eye contact with the audience. Look across the room and make eye contact with the guys of your who sits in certain position. When you look at the entire audience, ask the audience question and ask them during your presentation. Tell interesting jokes to explain what you are discussing. The third, bring your presentation in story form. To get the attention of the audience, you must connect with them emotionally. And the best way to do that is by bringing your presentation as if it were a story. Briefly explain the topic you will discuss and do not assume that listeners already know all the terms you speak, especially if the topic you are about the present is not widely known. The fourth, speak in a slower tempo. One of the most frequent ways of making a presentation critique is that the tempo is too fast. And most people make mistakes like this. They get nervous and like with their own presentation rising, cause the listener to become uncomfortable because of the constant information. If you are running out of time and your presentation is not finished, just finish or briefly outline the material that you have not discussed. Submit that the material you have not had time to explain will you discuss further in the question and answer session. The 5. Conclude with a memorable conclusion. The beginning and the end of the presentation are the best part of the audience. So make sure your so make sure you so make sure your end the presentation with words that make them feel badly beaten. This is just a figure of speech. Don't hit your listener. You will have you will have to repeat the 3 main topic of this presentation and make sure that the audience understand why they should understand the topic you discuss in your presentation. Explain again what your listeners know after listening to your presentation and why this information is important to them. Conclude by providing an example or a story about your main discussion. I will give you a little extra. Good way to open a presentation. Do not go directly to the point. Ask likely about the theme of the presentation to be discussed before the start. To add a small joke to get in interaction of the audience. How to get used to speaking at a presentation. First, being a casual person when talking. Why are you so casual? That's right. The answer has to be loose. When we relax, we get the audience interested. Second, before starting a presentation, it is good to start an interaction with your audience to get the atmosphere liquid. Third, make your audience curious about the material you will bring. When they wonder, they'll see you through to the end of matter. Fourth, tell your personal experience. You might ask if they would listen to your personal stories. The answer is yes. Perfect you deliver it properly. That was some of the ways that I can convey. Hopefully, it can be useful for you. For my mistake, I apologize. I close by saying wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.